innovation of the heart, a calling forth of divine energies to be manifested in one's life. Time spent in prayer refreshes, renews, strengthens. I now call upon Mrs. Swati Patwardhan Madam to lead us into the prayer.
हीच आमची प्रार्थना, हीच आमचे मागणी, हीच आमची प्रार्थना, हीच आमचे मागणी. माणसाने माणसाशी माणसा सम मागणी, हीच आमची प्रार्थना. भोवताली दाटला अंधार दुःखाचा जरी, सूर्य सत्याचा उद्या उगवेल आहे खातरी. तो बरी देई आम्हाला काजव्यांचे जागरी. माणसाने माणसाशी माणसा सम मागणी, हीच आमची प्रार्थना. लाभले आयुष्य जितुके ते जगावे चांगले, पाऊले चालू पुढे जे थांबले ते संपले. घेतला जो श्वास आता तो पुन्हा लाभली. माणसाने माणसाशी माणसा सम मागणी, हीच आमची प्रार्थना, हेच आमचे मागणी. माणसाने माणसाशी माणसा सम मागणी, हीच आमची प्रार्थना.
Thank you, Swati Madam. Due to some urgent meeting, respected Professor Dr. Sanjeev Suname sir is not able to join us physically for the program. Sir has sent us his best wishes and guidance through a video message. I request Professor Samir Deglekar sir from the animation department of our college to play the video message.
शिवाजीनगर यांनी ही अत्यंत कालसुसंगत आणि देशामध्ये जी नव शैक्षणिक धोरण अंमलबजावणीत आणलं जात आहे त्याच्याशी निगडीत असणाऱ्या विषयांवर ही 2 दिवस इथे घडून आणलेली आहे. त्याच्या समारोप समारंभ प्रसंगी प्रोग्रेसिव्ह एज्युकेशन सोसायटीचे मार्गदर्शक डॉक्टर इकोटे साहेब, आमच्या सावित्रीबाई फुले पुणे विद्यापीठाचे कुलसचिव प्रोफेसर पवार सर, प्रोग्रेसिव्ह एज्युकेशन सोसायटी आणि इतर संस्थांचे प्राचार्य आणि प्रसंगी उपलब्ध आहेत. खूपच चांगला विषय घेऊन आज कॉलेजने प्रकारचा समज होता. 1 वर्ष 4 वर्ष झालं म्हणजे काय पुढच्या वर्षाचा अभ्यासक्रम त्याला जोडला की झालं आपलं काम. पण तसं नाहीये. तर त्याची मला वाटतं कालच्या आणि आजच्या चर्चेमध्ये त्याची संपूर्णपणे जी तत्वज्ञान आहे किंवा त्याच्या मागची जी फिलॉसॉफी आहे ती आपल्या लक्षात आली असेल. तर ज्ञानयुक्त समाज तयार करत असताना आणि त्याचबरोबरीने या राष्ट्रामधला जो पदवीधर आहे तो सर्व विषयांच्या संबंधित ज्ञान धारण करणारा असावा. फक्त एकाच विषयाच्या ज्ञानाचा त्याच्यामध्ये समावेश न होता त्याला इतरही जीवनाच्या अंगाशी असलेले निगडीत असणारे विषयी त्याला अवगत असावे, हा याचा हेतू आहे. यामध्ये खरं तर भाषेमध्ये त्याचं समृद्धीकरण असलं पाहिजे, त्यामुळे तो चांगला संवाद करू शकेल, आपलं म्हणणं मांडू शकेल. त्याचप्रमाणे भारताविषयीचं ज्ञान, न्यू इंडिया या हा एक महत्वाचा भाग पहिल्या दुसऱ्या सेमिस्टरमध्ये शिकेल. त्याचप्रमाणे त्याला स्वतःच्या व्यक्तिमत्वामध्ये असणारे जे वेगवेगळे पैलू आहेत, संगीत असेल, नाट्य असेल, नृत्य असेल, क्रीडा असेल, किंवा त्याला जे असणारे जे वेगवेगळे छंद असतील, त्या छंदांना सुद्धा या अभ्यासक्रमामध्ये संधी देण्यात आलेली आहे. आणि त्यामुळे पहिले 3 सेमिस्टर जे आहे ते या जो कोण पदवीधर आहे त्याचं व्यक्तिमत्व विकासावर याच्यामध्ये भर दिलेला आहे. आणि तो नव्या शैक्षणिक धोरणाच्या पहिल्या 2-3 अपेक्षांमध्ये सांगितल्याप्रमाणे या विश्वाचा नागरिक व्हावा, ग्लोबल सिटिझनशिप व्हावा, खऱ्या अर्थानं ते अपेक्षित आहे. आणि त्यामुळे त्याला या देशाविषयी प्रेम निर्माण असावं, त्याची जी घटना आहे त्या घटनेविषयीच संपूर्णपणे त्याला ज्ञान असावं, या विविध गोष्टींसाठी खरं तर समृद्धीकरण होणं यासाठी ही पदवी पद्धती तरतूद आहे. पुढच्या टप्प्यामध्ये खरं तर गेल्यानंतर 3ऱ्या सेमिस्टर नंतर त्याला मेजर मायनर अशा प्रकारचे विषय येतील आणि पुढे तो आपल्या एका विषयामध्ये आपल्या ज्ञानाचं समृद्धीकरण करेल. त्याचप्रमाणे रोजगार भूमिक शिक्षण घेईल. तसंच त्या विषयात असणारी जी वृत्ती आहे ती विकसित होईल. अशा प्रकारच्या गोष्टी ह्या पुढच्या बाबीमध्ये येतील. तृतीय वर्ष पूर्ण केल्यानंतर त्याला प्रथम वर्षामध्ये प्रमाणपत्र मिळेल, दुसऱ्या वर्षामध्ये त्याला डिप्लोमा मिळेल, त्याच्यानंतरच्या पुढच्या वर्षामध्ये त्याला पदवी मिळेल. आणि 4थं वर्ष विशेष करून 7.5च्या वर जर त्याचा श्रेयांकाचा जर गुणांक आला तर त्याला 4थ्या वर्षामध्ये जाऊन त्याला संशोधन किंवा इंटर्नशिप प्रोग्राम करून उद्योगामध्ये जाऊन प्रत्यक्ष अनुभव घेऊन तो आपलं करिअर, व्होकेशनल करिअर म्हणून तिथे पुढे नेईल. त्याचप्रमाणे संशोधक म्हणून त्याला जर पुढे जायचं असेल तर त्यातूनही पुढे घडेल. हा खरं तर 4थ्या वर्षाचा जो ऑनरचा टप्पा आहे तो समजून घेणं गरजेचं आहे. याच्यातून विचारवंत तयार होतील, संशोधक तयार होतील, चांगल्या उद्योगाला लागणारे लगेचच्या लगेच उद्योगात समाविष्ट झाल्यानंतर, पदवी पूर्ण केल्यानंतर तेथे जाऊन उत्पादनाला किंवा त्या उद्योग व्यवसायाला सुरुवात करेल. कारण आत्ताच्या ग्रॅज्युएट पद्धतीमध्ये त्याला कमीत कमी 6-8 महिने त्या वातावरणात समजून घेणं, त्यामध्ये समरस होणं व त्या उद्योगाची अपेक्षा पूर्ण करण्याच्या दृष्टीने काही जादा लागणारी कौशल्य आत्मसात करणं याच्यासाठी वेळ जातो. परंतु या 4थ्या वर्षामुळे जर त्याचं खऱ्या अर्थानं व्यावसायिक शिक्षण याच्यातून होईल आणि तो लगेचच्या लगेच ज्या दिवशी तिथं रुजू होईल त्या दिवसापासून त्या उद्योगामध्ये योगदान द्यायला सुरुवात करेल. याच्यामध्ये खरं तर बहुतेक वेळा असंही होतं की मला मुलीचं विवाह होतो किंवा मुलाला दुसरी नोकरी लागते, त्याच्यामुळे त्याला मधूनच थांबावं लागतं. आत्ताच्या व्यवस्थेमध्ये जितक्या लांबीचा कोर्स असेल ते त्याच्या प्लस 2 वर्ष त्याला मिळतात. उदाहरणार्थ फार्मसी इंजिनिअरिंग 4 वर्षाचे, अधिक त्याला 2 वर्ष मिळतात. BA BCom BSc 3 वर्षाचं आहे, अधिक त्याला 2 वर्ष मिळतात. पण येथे संपूर्णपणे 7 वर्ष अकॅडमिक क्रेडिट बँकेमध्ये त्याला आपले स्कोर ठेवता येतील आणि त्यापैकी तो प्रथम वर्ष संपल्यानंतर प्रमाणपत्र घेऊन तो पुन्हा 2 वर्षांनी एखाद्या नोकरीला लागला आणि तिथे परमनंट झाला तर तिथल्या आस्थापनाची परवानगी घेऊन तो पुन्हा आपलं पुढचं शिक्षण पूर्ण करेल. आणि ते पुढचं शिक्षण पूर्ण करण्यासाठी त्याला रेग्युलरच्या बरोबर दूर शिक्षणातूनही संधी आहे, ऑनलाईन शिक्षणातूनही संधी आहे. अशा प्रकारची व्यापक लवचिकता असणारं शैक्षणिक धोरण या पदवी पूर्ण करण्यासाठी खरं तर आलेलं आहे आणि या पुढचा खूप मोठा बदल त्याच्यामध्ये घडेल. त्याचप्रमाणे आणखी एक गोष्ट अशी आहे की तो समजा एमकॉम करतोय, एमकॉम करताना त्याला MBA करता येणार आहे. फक्त त्याचा दुसरा मोड जो असेल तो डिस्टन्स किंवा ऑनलाईन मध्ये असेल. एकाच वेळी 2 पदव्या प्राप्त करण्याची आणि त्याचबरोबर आपलं स्वतःचं ज्ञान तर उंचावण्याची, व्यावसायिक कौशल्य विकासाची अशा प्रकारची त्याला ही याच्यातून संधी मिळणार आहे. ती एक नामी संधी खरं तर पुढची पिढी जगातल्या नामवंत त्या विषयातले तज्ञ होण्यासाठी अत्यंत उपयोगी पडणार आहे. आणि म्हणून अशा पद्धतीने जर आपण हा यशस्वी जर अंमलबजावणी या 4 वर्षाची केली तर तयार होणारे आपले जे ग्रॅज्युएट्स आहेत त्यांचं मूल्य निश्चित उच्च प्रकारचं असेल आणि ते जगात भारत हा ज्ञाननिर्मितीच्या क्षेत्रामध्ये पुढे जाण्यात, त्याचप्रमाणे भारत हा विश्वगुरू होण्याच्या संदर्भामध्ये तुम्ही आम्ही मिळूनच करणार आहोत, तशी ती नवी पिढी घडण्याची मला असं वाटतं की ही एक नावी संधी नव्या शैक्षणिक धोरणातून आलेली आहे. आपण सगळेजण हे धोरण उत्तम प्रकारे समजून घेऊ, त्याच्यासाठी लागणाऱ्या इतरांना आणि आपण स्वतः आपल्या वृत्तीमध्ये विचारामध्ये बदल घडवून आणू व सातत्यानं हा उपक्रम जो होऊ घातलेला आहे ही आपल्या देशाची एक प्राधान्यक्रम आहे की नव्या शैक्षणिक धोरणाची यशस्वी अंमलबजावणी यामध्ये तुम्ही सगळेजण यशस्वीपणे योगदान द्या अशी आशा करतो. त्यासाठी आपल्या सगळ्यांना शुभेच्छा देतो. जय हिंद.
Thank you very much, sir, for explaining the crux of four-year undergraduate program very simply in your message. We are thankful to you for guiding us through the video message. Thank you, sir. Today we have respected Munjaji Raswe, sir, Deputy Registrar of Savitribai Phule Pune University on dais. I invite Sonali Deshmukh Madam to introduce respected Raswe, sir.
Thank you, madam. With immense pleasure, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our today's guest of honor, Mr. Mundaji Vittalrao Raspe, sir. Sir is Deputy Registrar in Savitribai Phule Pune University since 2019. Sir has pursued his Masters and PhD in Economics. Sir has started his career in 1996 with Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded. Since 2003, Sir is associated with Savitribai Phule Pune University. Sir is member of Building Committee of Gokhale Institute of Politics and Economics since 2020. Sir has worked as member of the committee appointed by Government of Maharashtra regarding revision of GR for affiliation process. Sir has worked in various sections of university in the capacity of his different designation. We welcome you, sir, here. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. I request Principal, sir, to welcome Raswe, sir. I extend a warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. The success of any conference depends on the feedback of participants. Therefore, I would like to call upon on the stage Principal Dr. Gauri Rane, Madam.
Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, a very good evening to all of you. We are really fortunate to experience a galaxy of vice chancellors over this dais since yesterday. All other invited guests, they are also stalwarts in their field and they try to educate us on National Education Policy 2020. And I think the college is successful is organizing this event because while talking to many of the participants, they said, yes, I had this difficulty and now I get clear that this is this and not that. It was my previous understanding. And I think that is the success of the particular thing. Secondly, I must mention about the logistics. They were awesome, including this auditorium. I came to this auditorium very first time and I'm impressed by seeing such facilities available to the different campuses of Progressive Education Society. So this auditorium is this auditorium plays very important role in such kind of conferences because everyone is very well settled. It is nicely cooled and everyone is comfortable and the things are awesome. Now, next to this, I must mention about the good food, and it was really very good and tasty. Bit crowdy at the time of lunch, but still everybody was hungry, and so we enjoyed the nice food. So, in short, all is good. And before concluding, I would like to. I have several questions in my mind. Being a while playing a role as a principal, it is always I feel a burden of my faculty on me that how I can relax my faculty. That don't get afraid of this national education policy. This is nothing different. This we had done already so many times, but now we have to do it in a structured formula. And that's why I am encouraging my faculty to attend such workshops, and that is the reason why I am there. Because I provided one particular structure, course structure, faculty wise, discipline wise, and the course structure as a major minor wise. About three faculties, all the three faculties, art, science, and multidisciplinary, to my own university. And while preparing that, I read so many documents. But still, I had some queries, especially regarding the examinations, the multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. That is a very, I think we are using very loosely these terms, but they are not that to be taken as casually. They have some meaning. So I got those doubts over clear. But still, we are all going for this national education policy. So we have thousands of questions like the colleges who are having strength less than 3,000, what is going to happen to them? You are saying that they should come together and they form a unit and then they will go for it. It is very difficult, even though two departments of one college, they are of the same opinion. So it is very difficult, might be a nightmare. Then constituent concept, college concept is there. Many colleges are interested to take autonomy, but UGC is like reluctant. They are not giving any green signal, no guidelines, nothing. So that is also there. The current issue, which management and principals are facing, is shortage of faculty. So no sufficient faculty members are present. The almost 30-40% contributory faculty is running the colleges. And in this, how should we go for this IDAO? Professor R.D. Kulkarni committee report, I request all the faculty members that you please read Professor R.D. Kulkarni committee report. And for our view, the page number 49 to 79 are important because he had given nicely the credit structure, how far we can go, up to from where to where we can go, how everyone can give justice to our own subject because workload is a serious matter. And yesterday I talked to Honorable Principal that if you would have been invited here, a person from like Honorable Director Higher Education or Joint Director Higher Education or somebody from the government. Because whenever we raise the issue of the workload, all the senior people or who are actually involved in the policy document of this NEP, they said yes, they made some different committee and they are thinking over it. But there are many problems of calculating workload. Like fourth year, they said that it will be going to be the research component is going to be introduced. So if suppose I guided 4 students for their research project, which is of 15 credits, not less. So is that workload is calculated under my workload sheet? It is not. No, they don't have the answer. I have talked to this so many times to our joint director. So on this dais, if anybody in future is organizing this conference, please see that the person from the government who directly deals with our workload, they should be there. So workload is very, I must say, it is a very pinching problem while implementing this particular thing. What will happen to the below average students? See, since last 2 years, because of Corona, students are not coming to the college. At the time of admission also, we provide them online facility and they are choosing the subject. We instructed them that science faculty students should choose environment science for the first term and languages for the second term. But at the time of examination, when their research generates from the university, almost 50-70 students come and they say, no, sorry, wrongly written. I don't know whether to opt this language for this semester and environment science and research changes and whatnot. So as soon as we are going to implementation of new policy, we have to take care of student admission. We have to sit aside to the students, say, this is your first year choice. If you want to change your major in the second year, better you change it, you decide it at this level, and at the time of second year also we should monitor it whether he has chosen right major or not. Parents are, yes, parents are unnecessarily conscious about it. So awareness, yesterday madam was talking, awareness was also an important point, awareness among students, among parents, among faculty also, and especially the teachers who are going to implement it. आपण सगळे प्रत्यक्षात आणणार आहोत, so we should also take care of all this. I don't know why you have chosen me for the feedback, because ultimately I am a professor since last 37 years. I am delivering lecture even after becoming principal, but still I would like to stop. एक म्हण आहे रात्र वैराची आहे, सो आपल्या सगळ्यांसाठी ही रात्र वैराची आहे. आणि दुसरी म्हण आहे शादी का लड्डू, जो खाए पछताए जो ना खाए पछताए. सो वी ऑल आर गोइंग टू ईट दिस लड्डू. खाना ही है, हम खाएंगे तो भी पछताएंगे, नहीं तो भी पछताएंगे. Thanks to the organizers for being invited me, and I am very delighted to be in this campus because I spent valuable 8 years of my life in this campus up till my graduation. Then I joined as a faculty. I completed my PhD also in the same campus. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for such a kind word. Now I call upon Professor Mrs. Aarti Cholekar, madam.
Good evening to all, respected dignitaries on the dais, off the dais. I would like to thanks of organizers of the conference, Modern College, for giving me the opportunity to attend the conference, and I congratulate them for successful execution and completion of the conference. I thank all the resource persons and speakers for such a wonderful session which guided us for implementation of NEP 2020. Special thanks to my friend Dr. Pooja Karte ma'am and Sen Gupta ma'am for kind support and cooperation. Food was very delicious, hospitality was very good. All the team members were very cooperative. So thanks one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. We are thankful to Gauri Rane madam and Aarti Cholekar madam for giving the feedback. Now I request coordinator of this national conference and secretary of Progressive Education Society, Professor Shamkant Deshmukh sir, to present the conference brief.
Honorable Principal Dr. Rajendra Dhunjara sir, guest of honor of this valedictory function, Dr. Munjaji Rastre sir, Deputy Secretary, Savitribai Phule Phule University, Deputy Registrar, Savitribai Phule Phule University, Professor Dr. Vijay Gaikwad, Professor Dr. Sen Gupta madam. She is a librarian, but librarian comes under teaching faculty. That's why I mentioned Dr. Sen Gupta. This is Sen Gupta. Professor Sonali Deshmukh madam, all my teacher colleagues and participants. Since last 2 days, we are working on NEP. At the same time, there were brainstorming sessions on NEP by eminent personalities, stalwarts in the field of higher education. Basic motto behind NEP 2020, if you are going to understand, gist of these 2 days national conference is, we have to think about quality of students. As far as central government of India is concerned, HRD ministry comes under central government of India. University Grants Commission is a part of it. And this NEP 2020 is introduced in view of quality of students. As all you know that students are not well placed after their graduation and postgraduate program. And this is one of the major problem related to present education system. And in view of this, basically this NEP 2020 is drafted. When we are talking about quality, first of all, when quality issue is going to come in picture? Only when options are there. When options are not there, there is no need to worry about quality. What I mean to say, I'll give you a very simple example. In order to have a cup of tea, if there are 5 tea stalls in front of the college gate, ultimately you are going to start comparing quality of these tea stalls to have a cup of tea which costs 10 rupees, at the most 15 rupees. Suppose somebody is staying in a town wherein there is only one school. In order to join school, there is no any option in front of any ward or a parents. Ultimately, they are supposed to join same school wherein education is to be catered. If there are 5 schools in nearby 3 kilometer area, ultimately what is going to happen? Parents are going to start comparing quality. These days, what is happening? There is a huge gap between industry requirement and academia. And at this stage, as ample options are there in front of the industry, naturally, unless and until students are not going to match their skill sets with the industry demand, they will not be placed. And why one should compromise on this? When organizations are going to pay huge amount, ultimately, what is going to happen? That they are expecting good quality employee. And at this stage, everyone has talked about this in MEP, that we have to produce quality students with skill sets, with multidisciplinary approach. There should be multiple entry, multiple exit. As and when somebody is in financial need, at certificate level, at FY level, at diploma level, at degree level, one can easily quit, one can easily re-enter. There should be academic mobility and flexibility. All these aspects, they are covered. Choice-based credit system, one can have certain credits to be completed from some of the courses, from some of the institute, wherein there can be collaboration. Related to NEP, at least on a paper, frankly speaking, being Secretary of Education Society, being Vice Principal of this modern college, and little experience of since years in the field of higher education, my personal opinion is policy at this stage on paper is really fantastic, but implementation of this policy is big challenge, and professors are going to play vital role related to this. In view of this, we have arranged this particular conference. It was inaugurated at the auspicious hands of Professor Pandesar, who was involved in this NEP 2020. Several recommendations and suggestions during finalization of this draft. Dr. Nitin Karmalkar sir, who gave introductory remark and keynote address during this particular conference, and time to time we about it, what all points they were covered under this particular session. Followed to these two introductory remarks related to NEP, Professor Dr. Josna Egote Madam, Joint Secretary of Progressive Education Society and Chairperson CDC, she was present. She has narrated about Progressive Education Society as well as Modern College, about NEP and how to face challenges related to NEP during her speech. Followed to that, Professor Rajesh Khambait sir, he delivered session on vocational education. So mainly his scope was related to vocationalization, how vocationalization is going to enhance skill sets of our students and how they'll be placeable, and from day one, how they'll be ready, and on at the different levels such as certificate, diploma and degree, how these students will be getting opportunities to earn something, and after earning certain things, they can rejoin in between. And 7 years framework, it was also mentioned by Dr. Karmalkar sir as well as Dr. Rajesh Khambait sir. Followed to that, Dr. Vinay Nanda madam, she had narrated about awareness amongst the stakeholders related to NEP 2020. After that, we had lunch yesterday, and immediately after lunch session, there was session by Sri Anand Mapuskar. He mentioned about role of different stakeholders in NEP. When he had presented role of different stakeholders related to NEP, ultimately he had addressed about government responsibility, about management responsibility, about professors, students, administrative staff, parents, and so on, and different roles and their responsibilities, they were narrated by him in his speech. Followed to that, there was session conducted by Professor Anand Gosavi sir on examination reforms and its importance. So he had mentioned about importance of examination, how to carry out assessment, evaluation of students related to particular subject, what all practices, what all SOPs to be followed, what is the importance of periodic assessment, continuous assessment and evaluation, on what line exams are to be conducted, and why not certain freedom can be given to concerned subject teacher in order to carry out assessment and evaluation of the students. After his lecture, there was session related to panel discussion, and in panel discussion, uh, 5 participants have presented their papers. Before that, one session it was conducted by Mrs. Deepa Garg madam, and she has talked about active learning, passive learning, and teaching learning pedagogy, and how these teaching learning pedagogy they are going to make education more interesting, and what will be the role of professor in or teachers in order to develop talents amongst the student. This was the first day of national conference, and somewhere at 5:30 we are finished with the first day session. Today in the morning, Honorable Professor Dr. Pandit Vidyasagar sir, former Vice Chancellor of SRTM University, he has delivered his speech about NEP. He had mentioned about challenges related to NEP, our responsibilities, then what role we have to perform, board of studies, and their role in order to create framework which will be acceptable and which will be easily adopted by different faculties and so on. Followed to that, we had planned one more session of Dr. Vijay Khare sir, but unfortunately, he has to rush to Mumbai because on one urgent meeting it was called by the government of Maharashtra, and being director of International Student Center, he could not make it, and he was not in a position to deliver a session, but he has conveyed his best wishes for the conference. Immediately after Vidyasagar sir's lecture, we have conducted, there was separate session of Honorable Professor Dr. R.S. Mani sir, former Vice Chancellor of North Maharashtra University, Jalgaon, and taking into consideration his age and presentation and delivery style, he has narrated NEP in one presentation. If you are, and he has openly mentioned that my presentation it can be shared with all participants, and I'm ready to share it. So we are going to circulate his presentation. We have mail ID, and we have created WhatsApp group. So straight away we will post his presentation on WhatsApp group because he has permitted us. So it was definitely uh, beneficial to all of you, and we all are immensely benefited by these two sessions on NEP at the beginning of the day. Then, followed to that, in the afternoon, there was lunch break in between 1 to 2, and immediately after that, there was session by Honorable Principal Dr. Sanjay Kharaj sir, who is working as principal in Modern College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Ganesh Street. It is also Autonomous Institution of Progressive Education Society. and he has talked about accreditation process, what is the importance of accreditation, what all different accreditations they are available for the professional colleges and non-professional colleges, and present situation related to state of Maharashtra from the accreditation point of view. At the same time, how it is mandatory and what is the requirement related to accreditation and how one can easily go with the accreditation with the revised guidelines and so on. This he has narrated. Then immediately after his session, Professor Dr. Parag Kalkar sir, Honorable Dean, Commerce and Management Faculty, Savitribai Phule Pune University, he delivered talk and he had given examples related to job opportunities to the students when we are going to nurture their talents by means of NEP. Why I have started with central government policy, try to understand. All we are talking about gross enrollment ratio, GDP, percentage of GDP, which is spent on education, part of that is spent on school education, part of that is spent on higher education, and so on. But taking into consideration need of India that in a true sense we want to become superpower, we have to develop human beings on such line that they are industry ready, they are society ready, then and then only we will be in a position to achieve this target. And this is the dream of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Ji Modi, because everywhere there is a criticism related to unemployment. Last but not least, after his session, there was panel discussion. So panel discussion is one opportunity to participants that what all doubts, what all questions they have. Why we have chosen this method that questions were asked to be communicated to Dr. Sen Gupta madam and Dr. Kalyani Salla madam. Because generally some participants are reluctant to ask questions openly, because generally the people who are on the dais, they are the authorities. Some of them, they may not like some questions, and this is a normal human tendency which is narrated by so many speakers and stalwarts in their speeches. But it was fruitful session, and when Deepak Mane sir had mentioned that some of the unanswered questions are to be routed through proper channel and they will be addressed, and accordingly we will communicate all of you. Today, Professor Dr. Sanjeev Sonone sir, Pro Vice Chancellor of Savitribai Phule Pune University, he was also expected as a chief guest of honor for the valedictory function, but he was unable to remain present for this function. And I met him on Friday, and he had given consent that we are ready to share, or my video message can be recorded, and accordingly on Monday we have recorded his video message and same was presented in front of you. I am thankful to participants, all teaching and non-teaching staff members, Honorable Principal Sir for constant encouragement and support in order to make this national conference grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for briefing us on the conference proceeding. There is always a center of any circle which creates and balances everything. Right from selection of the conference title till the planning and implementation of each and everything related to the national conference, we have the one amongst us who is the real guiding and driving force for all of us. On behalf of all of us, I request Honorable Principal Sir to please felicitate respected Deshmukh Sir, the organizing secretary, for conduction of this conference. I request respected Deshmukh Sir to receive the felicitation on behalf of the organizing committee. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request respected Professor Dr. R.S. Zunzarao, sir, Principal of Modern College, Pune, to address the audience. Okay. Thank you, sir. May I now request today's guest of honor, Dr. Munjaji Rasve, sir, Deputy Secretary, Savitribai Phule Pune University, to address the audience. Deputy Registrar, Pune University.
मंचावर उपस्थित महाविद्यालयाचे प्राचार्य झुंजारराव सर, उपप्राचार्य आणि सचिव देशमुख सर आणि मान्यवर आपण सर्व प्राध्यापकगण, खरं म्हणजे इथं 2 दिवस खूप मंथन झाले की जे राष्ट्रीय शैक्षणिक धोरण आहे त्याची अंमलबजावणी कशी करायची. तर मी काही शिक्षक नाही, मी एक प्रशासकीय अधिकारी आहे. त्या अँगलनी मी माझे जे व्ह्यूज आहेत किंवा ह्या कार्यशाळा का घेतल्या त्याच्या मागे विद्यापीठाची काय भूमिका आहे आपल्यासमोर मांडू इच्छितो. योगायोगाने जे QIP हे योजना आहे, क्वालिटी इम्प्रुव्हमेंट प्रोग्राम, त्याची जी समिती माननीय व्यवस्थापन परिषदेने गठीत केली माननीय डॉक्टर राजेश पांडे सरांच्या अध्यक्षतेखाली, आणि माझं सौभाग्य की त्या समितीचा मी त्या समितीमध्ये एक सदस्य सचिव म्हणून मला काम करण्याची विद्यापीठाने संधी दिली. तर या समितीमध्येच सुरुवातीला आमची भरपूर चर्चा झाली आणि इथं बरेच लोकांनी वक्त्यांनी इथं मुद्दे उपस्थित केले की बाबा हे इम्प्लिमेंट कसं करायचं नेमकं. हाच प्रश्न विद्यापीठाच्याही समोर होता, कारण जवळपास 30 वर्षानंतर या आपण नवीन सिस्टीमला जात आहोत. तर कुठलीही गोष्ट नवीन होताना त्याच्यामध्ये नवीन काही अडचणी येणारच आहे. तर त्या अडचणी येऊ नये, जास्तीत जास्त चांगल्या प्रकारे जे राष्ट्रीय शैक्षणिक धोरण आहे त्याची अंमलबजावणी आपल्या विद्यापीठात आणि विद्यापीठाच्या कार्यक्षेत्रातील महाविद्यालयात व्हावी, हा विचार घेऊन विद्यापीठाने नेहमीच आपलं विद्यापीठ हे दुसऱ्यांसाठी दिशादर्शक मार्गदर्शक म्हणून काम करत आलेलं आहे. तर या बाबतीतही आपण काही करू शकतो का या दृष्टीने विचार झाला. यासाठी वेगवेगळ्या कमिट्या नेमल्या. तर जसं या शिक्षणाच्या प्रवाहामध्ये जे स्टेक होल्डर्स आहेत त्यामध्ये 2 स्टेक होल्डर्स जे आहेत ते जास्त महत्वाचे आहेत, ते म्हणजे विद्यार्थी आणि शिक्षक. तर विद्यापीठाने सुरुवातीलाच विद्यार्थ्यांसाठी सुद्धा विद्यापीठामध्ये कार्यशाळा आयोजित केली की नेमकं राष्ट्रीय शैक्षणिक धोरण काय आहे, त्याच्यामध्ये विद्यार्थ्यांचा सहभाग आपण तिथे, आणि क्वालिटी इम्प्रुव्हमेंट प्रोग्राम जो आपला कुठल्याही विद्यापीठात नाही आहे तो आपल्याच विद्यापीठात आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये आपण दरवर्षी वेगवेगळ्या विषयावर राष्ट्रीय, राज्य किंवा आंतरराष्ट्रीय पातळीवरचे सेमिनार्स कंडक्ट करतो आपण वेगवेगळ्या महाविद्यालयांमध्ये. तर समितीमध्ये अशी चर्चा झाली की यावर्षी आपल्या पुढचा जो सगळ्यात मोठा टास्क आहे की राष्ट्रीय शैक्षणिक धोरणाची अंमलबजावणी कशी करायची. तर या म्हणजे एक टास्क म्हणून यावर्षी जेवढे काही विद्यापीठाच्या कार्यक्षेत्रात सेमिनार्स होतील, ते राष्ट्रीय असो, आंतरराष्ट्रीय असो किंवा स्टेट लेवलचे असो, हे सगळे सेमिनार्स जे आहेत हे नॅशनल एज्युकेशन पॉलिसी जी आहे त्याच्या इम्प्लिमेंटेशनच्या अनुषंगानेच घ्यायचे, जेणेकरून जास्तीत जास्त प्राध्यापकांपर्यंत, जास्तीत जास्त विद्यार्थ्यांपर्यंत, जास्तीत जास्त स्टेक होल्डर्स पर्यंत आपल्याला जाता येईल. याच्यामध्ये असंही एक आम्ही निर्णय घेतला होता समितीने की प्रत्येक महाविद्यालयामध्ये जिथं जिथं सेमिनार होतील त्यांचा फीडबॅक घ्यायचा, त्यांचा रिपोर्ट घ्यायचा, त्याच्यातून काय काय प्रश्न जे मॅडमनी मगाशी राईटली पॉइंट आउट केलं की, आणि तो बऱ्याच लोकांचा तो प्रश्न आहे की वर्कलोडचं काय करणार. तर हे जे प्रश्न आता आपल्या सगळ्या वर्कशॉप्स होतात आहेत, सगळीकडे सेमिनार्स होतात आहेत, त्यातून जे प्रश्न येणार आहेत त्याच्यातून सगळ्या प्रश्नांचे काही कॉमन जे प्रश्न आम्ही सॉर्ट आउट करून काढणार आहोत आणि त्या प्राधिकरणाकडून त्या अधिकाऱ्याकडून त्या अथॉरिटीज कडून त्याची उत्तरं मिळवून ती आम्ही जास्तीत जास्त आपल्या प्राध्यापक, विद्यार्थी किंवा महाविद्यालय यांच्यापर्यंत पोहोचवण्याचा प्रयत्न करणार आहोत. तर त्याचाच हा एक भाग आहे. म्हणजे जे सगळ्यांना जी भीती वाटली की आता नेमकं पुढं करायचं कसं, तर ती सगळी भीती घालवण्याच्या दृष्टीने किंवा त्याच्यावर मंथन घडवून आणणं, चर्चा घडवून आणण्यासाठीच आपण यावर्षी हा QIP च्या अंतर्गतचे जे काही सगळे सेमिनार्स आहेत ते आपण NEP वर घेतोय. आता बाकीच्या गोष्टी खरं म्हणजे मी त्याच्यावर अधिकारवाणीनं बोलणं योग्य नाही की क्लस्टर काय, कोलॅबोरेशन काय, ड्युअल डिग्री, डबल डिग्री वगैरे वगैरे याच्यामध्ये प्रशासनाचाही भाग आहे. आम्ही त्या दृष्टीनेही काम करत आहोत. याच्यासाठी वेगवेगळ्या कमिटीज विद्यापीठाच्या पातळीवर नेमले गेलेले आहेत, त्याचंही काम चालू आहे. काही निर्णय अकॅडमिक काउन्सिलने घेतलेले आहेत. मगाशी सरांनी सांगितलं तसं की आता यावर्षी नेमकं सगळ्या महाराष्ट्रातल्या सगळ्या विद्यापीठांच्या इलेक्शनचं वर्ष होतं आणि त्यामुळे बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीजचे इलेक्शन आणि आता बोर्ड ऑफ स्टडीजचे इलेक्शन होऊन चेअरमन एकदा निवडून आले की मग त्यांच्यावर खरं म्हणजे ती जबाबदारी खूप मोठी आहे की सिलेबस डिझाईन करणे आणि त्या स्ट्रक्चरमध्ये ते बसून ते पुढे नेणं. तर त्याचंही काम आम्ही सुरू केलेलं आहे. मग अशी वक्त्यांनी सांगितलं, मॅडम दिवसकर मॅडमनी खूप छान पद्धतीने ते समजावून सांगितलं की अगोदर काय आणि आता येऊ घातलेल्या स्ट्रक्चरमध्ये काय. तर 3 वर्षाची डिग्री आता 4 वर्षाची, तर 4 वर्षाची 3 वर्षांमध्ये डिग्री मिळणारच आहे. फक्त जे 4 वर्षाला जाणार आहे त्याच्यापैकी त्याला ऑप्शन आहे की ऑनर्स किंवा रिसर्च. तर त्या पद्धतीने आहे. प्रत्येक ठिकाणी एक्झिट, मल्टिपल एंट्री, मल्टिपल एक्झिट आहे. एक उदाहरण म्हणून सांगता येईल की बरेचसे विद्यार्थी परीक्षा विभागात मी काम केले, पालक म्हणा किंवा विद्यार्थी म्हणा अक्षरशः परेशान होऊन यायचे की आमच्या पाल्याचा किंवा माझा एकच विषय राहिला आणि त्याच्यामुळे डिग्री नाही पूर्ण होत. आणि एवढे वर्ष म्हणजे त्यांनी समजा इंजिनिअरिंगचा असेल किंवा फार्मसी असेल 4 वर्ष त्यांनी शिक्षण घेतलं, परंतु एखादा विषय त्याचा राहिला आणि तो एक विषय राहिला, त्याची टर्म व्हॅलिडिटी संपली, तर त्याला काहीच कागद हातात मिळत नाही. तर नवीन जे येऊ घातलेलं धोरण आहे त्याच्यामध्ये प्रत्येक ठिकाणी एंट्री आणि एक्झिट ठेवल्यामुळं किमान त्याचा ज्या शेवटच्या वर्षाचा विषय राहिला जरी असेल त्याच्या हातात काहीतरी आहे, सर्टिफिकेट तरी आहे, डिप्लोमा तरी आहे. किंवा आम्ही ज्यावेळेस किंवा आपण कॉलेजमध्ये शिकत होतो त्यावेळेस फार आपल्याला चॉईस नव्हते. वर्षाला एकदाच परीक्षा असायची, त्याच्यानंतर सेमिस्टर आले, नंतर क्रेडिट सिस्टीम आली, नंतर CBCS आलं. हे बदल आपण सगळे आत्मसात करत गेलो. तसंच आपल्याला नॅशनल एज्युकेशन पॉलिसी इम्प्लिमेंट करताना हे बदल आत्मसात करायचे आणि त्यासाठी विद्यापीठाकडून हा एक प्रयत्न आहे की सगळ्या महाविद्यालयांमध्ये ज्यांनी जे इच्छुक होते आणि बऱ्याचपैकी त्याला चांगला रिस्पॉन्स मिळाला. विद्यापीठाने जवळपास 1.5 कोटी रुपये आपण या सेमिनार्ससाठी खर्च करतोय. तर त्याचा विद्यापीठाला सिरियसनेस आहे की ही पॉलिसी जी आहे ती व्यवस्थितपणे इम्प्लिमेंट व्हावी आणि इम्प्लिमेंट होण्यासाठी ती प्रत्येकाला चांगली कळावी, या उद्देशाने आपण हे सगळे सेमिनार्स घेतो. तर खरं म्हणजे हे त्याचे उद्देश झाले. तर प्रोग्रेसिव्ह एज्युकेशन सोसायटी बद्दल मी काय बोलणार, आपण सगळ्यांनाच माहित आहे की ते नेहमीच विद्यापीठासारखं आणि विद्यापीठाच्या खांद्याला खांदा लावून ते नेहमी काम करतात. त्यांनी काळाची पावलं ओळखून शिवाजीनगरचं मॉडर्न कॉलेज ऑटोनॉमीला गेले, नंतर गणेश खिंडे गेलं, इंजिनिअरिंग गेलं, आता मला वाटते क्लस्टरला जातात आहे. म्हणजे काळाची पावलांसोबत ओळखून ते त्या पद्धतीनं वाटचाल करतायत. तर अशीच वाटचाल प्रत्येक महाविद्यालयाने करावी. त्याच्यामध्ये वेगवेगळ्या महाविद्यालयातून जे शिक्षक इथं आलेले त्यांनी इथून काहीतरी घेऊन जावं, हा खूप छान पद्धतीनं प्रयत्न इथं झालेला आहे. खूप छान पद्धतीनं ही नॅशनल सेमिनार जो आहे तो कंडक्ट झाला असं मला वाटते. देशमुख सरांनी आत्ताच पहिल्या सेशन पासून वक्ते आणि त्यांनी कुठले विषय घेतले, त्याच्यातून काय आपल्याला मिळालं, याचं खूप छान पद्धतीनं नॅरेशन दिलं. आणि खरं म्हणजे बाकीचं फार मला बोलण्याची सवय नाही, पण आपल्या संस्थेचे आधारस्तंभ गुरुवर्य एकबोटे सर असोत किंवा मॅडम एकबोटे मॅडम असोत, झुंजारराव सर आहेत, खरात सर आहेत किंवा देशमुख सर आहेत, ही सगळीच ऑर्गनायझेशन जी कमिटी किंवा टीम होती त्यांची, हे सगळेच खरं म्हणजे अभिनंदनास पात्र आहेत. त्यांनी खूप छान पद्धतीने हे अरेंज केलं आणि एक दाखवून दिलं की या पद्धतीनं सेमिनार जर झाले तर अनेक प्राध्यापकांच्या, अनेक इव्हन प्रशासकीय कर्मचाऱ्यांच्या सुद्धा मनात काही शंका आहेत की बाबा नेमकं कसं काम करायचं. उदाहरणार्थ परीक्षा युनिटमध्ये काम करणारे लोक, प्रवेश विभागात काम करणारे लोक, तर त्यांच्यासाठी सुद्धा आपल्याला आपण पुढच्या याच्यामध्ये काही करणार आहोत. तर या दृष्टीनं आपण पुढे जाऊया. मी गुरुवारी एकबोटे सर, मॅडम एकबोटे मॅडम, त्याच्यानंतर झुंजारराव सर, देशमुख सर, ऑर्गनायझिंग कमिटी यांचे मी आभार मानतो की मला इथं बोलवलं, आपल्याशी हितगुज करण्याची संधी दिली, आणि आपले आभार मानतो आपण शांतपणे मला ऐकून घेतलं. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
धन्यवाद सर. प्रशासकीय पातळीवरील नियोजन हा कोणत्याही धोरणाच्या अंमलबजावणीचा एक महत्त्वाचा घटक असतो. राष्ट्रीय शैक्षणिक धोरणाची अंमलबजावणी हे केंद्र ठेवून विविध महाविद्यालयात सेमिनार घेण्यासाठी आपण प्रोत्साहन देत आहात सर, आपले मनपूर्वक आभार. I now requested respected principal sir to address the audience.
We are in the valedictory function of successful 2-day national conference. On the dais, Dr. Munjaji Rasve, Deputy Registrar, Savitribai Phule, Pune University is there. Professor Shamkant Deshmukh, Secretary of Progressive Education Society. My Vice Principal colleagues are there. Coordinators of the conference. In front of the dais, principals, vice principals, heads of the department, registrar, all dignitaries are there. I will not take much time, but certain things I want to share. Some of you must be remembering in the welcome speech, certain issues were raised, and many of those issues are still unanswered. As suggested by Principal Gauri Rane, there was a workshop organized under the leadership of Director Higher Education for government colleges. That time it was shared that probably the experiment in the first instance will be done in the government colleges. But now we are hearing that it is going to be a group of autonomous colleges where the first experiment of application is going to happen. So autonomous colleges have to be very careful about the welfare of the stakeholders. As far as teachers are concerned, workload, though the word load is there in it, little bit negative, but most important for all of us. If in the month of June we have to give say workload to our teachers, it should be very clear that even if it is a 4-year course, is it on granted aid basis or non-grantable? Why personally I am worried, and many of the principals are worried, when autonomy was offered to us, 3 things were mentioned by concerned government authorities. Number 1, if you accept the autonomy, at any point of time, 85% of the positions in the college will be filled. Second thing which was offered to autonomous colleges, or at least those who were interested in accepting autonomy, was you will be getting 22 lakhs of rupees of funds every year from UGC. And the third thing was RUSA, Rashtriya Uchchatar Shiksha Abhiyan, will provide 5 crores rupees of funding if you accept the autonomy. Unfortunately, we are not against anybody, but unfortunately nothing of these 3 things have happened. We have not received RUSA funds of 5 crores of rupees. We have not received 22 lakh of rupees from UGC, and 80% of the seats will be filled at any point of time. That has not happened. But what is the reality? When we were non-autonomous, even a 10 by 10 square feet exam control room was enough. What were the things required? Computer, printer, and photocopier. Since we have become autonomous, 4th year of autonomy, now that exam control room is not enough. We have appointed 6 clerical staff, and we need many more. Big facility, bigger space, and no funds. So as far as this national education policy is concerned, this should not be repeated. So what we want from concerned authorities, as suggested by other principal, there should be clear-cut circular. If 4-year degree course is implemented, it is also on grantee-aid basis. This question was asked personally by me to the joint director. When I think 3 days before it was similar workshop of principal, I asked whether this 3-year course will be granted. He answered that even the 4th year also is going to be granted. We are a bit worried. I think it should be very clear. Then credit system. Now we are in the second phase. What personally I feel as a principal, every teacher should read certain documents of National Education Policy. The main draft, the GR, and as suggested Dr. R.D. Kulkarni sir's report. These 3 things should be read. Either it can be the activity at departmental level. Suddenly what will happen if in the month of June we have to implement it and we are not aware? In autonomy we have experience. We were very careful through the experiences of others also. We came to know somewhere in some other state what happened. Autonomy was accepted, courses where syllabus was designed, and what happened? The number of credits were less than 130. Students they clear graduation from that autonomous college. After 10 years, UGC realized that the number of credits are not as per rule, and UGC said we will not approve your degree. By that time, the students cleared UPSC exams and become officers. So like that, it's a big responsibility of all of us, principals, teachers, administrators. I think the main challenge will be in this next 2-3 months of time, understanding this credit system properly, workload properly, expecting a circular from government authority or a GR that it is going to be grantable definitely. And in next few months of time, we will have to understand each and every aspect of this national education policy, and I think we should accept the challenge of implementation. As far as funding to this conference is concerned, as you know now, Savitribai Phule Pune University has provided us financial assistance for conducting this conference. Bank of Maharashtra, Janata Sahkari Bank, and 4 of our contractors have also helped us in organizing this particular conference. I would like to suggest to Honorable Deputy Registrar Rasve sir, who is here, we can think of providing small amount of funds for conducting workshop, maybe of 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, for teachers. Teachers will be present in that workshop, and this expert will guide them about the credit system kind of thing. Because now they will be arranging board of studies meeting. But in board of studies meeting, teachers should be aware what is right, what they are supposed to do. I think it will be good idea, workshop of 2-3 hours, some experts will guide, especially about credit system and the documents which are available. As far as modern college and conferences are concerned, excluding this period of COVID, I think we used to arrange 1 international conference, 1 national, and 2 state level conferences every year. So we do have experience of organizing conferences. Credit goes to our management, Honorable Professor Dr. G.R. Ekbote sir, who is Chairman of Business Council of Progressive Education Society, and Honorable Professor Dr. Mrs. Josna Ekbote Madam, who is Chairperson of College Development Committee. They are always motivating us about organizing this kind of seminars, conferences, so that teachers can update themselves as far as the subject knowledge is concerned. Because of shortage of time, what we have been doing in the valedictory function, especially the outside participant, they are in a hurry to leave the venue so that they can travel back. We have been arranging so-called appreciation meeting immediately next day or next to next day in the college, where such time constraint is not there. We must appreciate because it's a great work by organizing secretary Professor Deshmukh, coordinators Sonali Deshmukh Madam, and coordinator our librarian Shantasri Sengupta, all vice principals, heads, committee chairperson, committee members. It's a great work. Last 1 month, I think they are planning, discussing, series of meetings were held. It will be good idea to clap for this organizing team. So I will not take much of the time, but as it was said, somebody said की रात्र वैराची आहे, राणे मॅडम म्हणाले. थोडंसं ठीक आहे, टीचर्स आपण आहोत मेनली आणि आपले ऍडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, अनेक चॅलेंजेस आपण स्वीकारले. ऑटोनॉमी हॅज बीन इम्प्लिमेंटेड इन 4 years of time in modern college so smoothly, no complaint, nothing, because we believe in understanding what we are supposed to do आणि टेकिंग केअर. इतरांचे चुकलं असेल काही तर ते आपण टाळतो. त्या पद्धतीने हे पण आव्हान आपण स्वीकारू. एक लक्षात घ्या, आपल्याकडून काही चुकलं तर ते विद्यार्थी अडचणीत येणार आहे. आता एक बाजू सांगतो, पेरेंट्स विल अंडरस्टँड दॅट दे हॅव टू पे 25% more amount of fees 4th year. Students will understand they have to spend 25% more time for getting degree. Colleges have started understanding that 25% more number of classrooms are required. And teachers, of course, they want to know whether it is going to be a grant-in-aid activity and the workload issue. And we have to clear the doubts of all these stakeholders, which are very important to all of us. And I am sure only way out is everybody reads these 3 documents. In every department, they discuss about what we are supposed to do, and definitely we will do it. Let us accept it as a challenge, and we can definitely do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable guidance. You have elaborated some important points regarding autonomy and national education policy. The reward of thing well done is having done it. However, we would be falling short of our duty if we do not recognize a thing well done and encourage it. I would like to invite Dr. Shantasri Sengupta Madam, Librarian of Modern College and Assistant Coordinator of the National Conference, to make the acknowledgements.
Thank you, Dr. Vaijayanti Zadhar. Good evening, everyone. It has been an honor to be a part of this wonderful educational event. On behalf of Progressive Education Society's Modern College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Autonomous, Shivajinagar, Pune 5, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests of the valedictory function of the 2 days National Conference on Implementation of National Education Policy 2020, with special reference to adoption of guidelines on NHEQF and curriculum framework and credit system for 4-year undergraduate program. Professor Dr. Sanjeev Sonawne sir, Pro Vice Chancellor SPPU, who couldn't attend the valedictory function physically, but we are thankful to him for sending his video message. Dr. Munjaji Raswe sir, the Deputy Registrar of SPPU Pune. We are thankful for the continuous guidance, motivation and support of Honorable Professor Dr. Gajanan Ekbote sir, Chairman, Business Council, Progressive Education Society, and Professor Dr. Jyotsna Egbote Madam, Joint Secretary, PE Society, and Chairperson, CDC, Modern College, Pune 5. We are also thankful to Professor Dr. Nivedita Egbote Madam, Deputy Secretary, PE Society, for her august presence during the inaugural function of the National Conference. We are grateful to Principal A.B. Deshpande Sir, Professor Dr. Nitin Karmalkar Sir, and all the renowned resource persons and panelists for accepting our invitation and sparing time from their busy schedule to enlighten us and enrich us with the minute details and concepts of NEP 2020. My sincere thanks to the great pillars of support and motivation, Principal Dr. Rajendra Zunzarao Sir, the untiring and dynamic organizing secretary of the National Conference, Vice Principal Professor Shamkant Deshmukh Sir, all the vice principals, the heads of the departments, the chairpersons and members of all the committees of the conference, like the Welcome Committee, Editorial Committee, Travel and Accommodation, Technical Assistance Committee, Certificate and Memento Preparation Committee, Campus Beautification Committee, Certificate and Reception and Registration Committee, Stage Arrangement, Felicitation Committee, Finance and Sponsorship Committee, Hospitality Committee, Publicity Committee, Communication and Certificate Distribution, my fellow conference coordinator, Professor Mrs. Sonali Deshmukh, Registrar Sri Ganesh Sathe, all the teaching and non-teaching staff of office, accounts and all the departments, my library team members, the student volunteers, the PE Society office staff for making this conference a grand success. I am thankful to our journalist friends for the wide coverage of news in today's newspapers, and especially to Dr. Vaijayanti Sadhav Madam, who has been continuously in touch with the journalists so that the news comes in time. And it is really great to see that two of the leading newspapers, Prabhat and Samna, today itself they have covered the first day news of the National Conference. A wide round of applause and thanks to all the participants who joined us physically as well as online through the official YouTube channel of our college, that is the Modern Media Station. We are also thankful to all the units of Progressive Education Society for their contribution and participation, which made the event a memorable one. I am thankful to Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune, for financial assistance for conducting the national conference under the Quality Improvement Program. I am grateful to our sponsors, Bank of Maharashtra, Janata Sahakari Bank Private Limited, and 4 of our contractors for their financial support. Finally, I would like to thank all of you present here for making the time to be with us today and helping us make this event a grand success. I apologize if I forgot to take some names. Thank you one and all once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, dear Madam. As the culture and tradition of Progressive Education Society and Modern College, I request Mrs. Swati Patwaran Madam to recite the Pasaidan.
आता विश्वात्मके देवे ये भाग्यज्ञे तुषावे तुषोनी मज द्यावे पसायना जे खळांची व्यंकटी सांडो तया सत्कर्मी रती वाढो भूता परस्परे पडो मैत्र जीवांचे दुरिताचे तिमिर जावो विश्वस्वधर्म वर्षत सकळ मंगळी ईश्वर निष्ठांची मांदी आई अनवरत भूमंडळी भेट तू भूता चला कल्पतरूंचे आरव चेतना चिंतामणीचे गाव बोलते जे अर्णव पियुषाचे चंद्रमे जे अलांछन मातंड जे तापहीन ते सर्वाही सदा सज्जन सोय रे हो तू किंबहुना सर्वसुखी पूर्ण होनी तिन्ही लोकी भजे जो आदि पुरुषी अखंडित आणि ग्रंथोपजीवी विशेषी लोकी दृष्टादृष्ट विजय होवावे जी येथ म्हणे श्री विश्वेश्वरावो हा होईल दान पसावो ये बरे ज्ञान देवो सुखिया झाला सुखिया झाला सुखिया झाला.
Thank you, Swati madam.